Hello everyone, today we start a new playthrough. This is the map by none other than Koget, one of, if not the most renowned map maker in Heroes 3, author of The Devil is in the Details, one of the most known, most popular maps. Welcome to the part 1 playthrough of the Noble Nemesis. For this playthrough I picked Fortress and Tazar, who's gonna be my main hero, as you might imagine. And also I picked resources as my starting bonus. Everyone who played Devil is in the Details probably know that it's a very poor map in terms of resources, and on this one Koget probably set a new record. It feels almost miserable. So resources start bonus makes a hell of a lot of sense. And it also makes towns with ore and wood resource silo much more attractive. I didn't pick Fortress because of that though. I wanted to play Fortress as it's a home of Tazar, and it's a bit of I feel like it's a bit unfair maybe to play Tazar every time for every town, so I thought that it would be reasonable to kind of actually have to play Fortress occasionally. One of the things that catch your attention, or caught my attention right away, is that there are quite a few movement boosts on the map, so it helps a little bit. Okay, so first fight. Always very nice to use serpent flies or any other fast unit to distract a couple of stacks, like here. So I actually should have hit the one with a single null there. I was lucky actually here that I was able to kill the stacks that blocked my lizards. Might have been less lucky here. And I basically use my ones of nulls to take a couple of hits. Overall, pretty good fight, I think. And very good campfire. So something that is actually extremely prominent, you could say, for this map is that there are so few mines that you could say that there are no mines actually. And I think there are no, or almost like none, sawmills and ore pits, so basically you have to rely on pickups and whatever, the warehouses and things like windmills and such. So here you could see I set up 3 nulls from the top, and I intend to set up a block between top and bottom, so that wolves did not reach lizards. So I kept the one because I didn't want upgraded wolves to hit my big gnoll stack. Because this way the remaining wolf rider actually blocked the way for them, and they would have to hit something else. That probably saved me a couple of gnolls there. So in general, on a big map, I prefer to build up economically, at least a little bit. Town hall would be my priority, especially on a poor map. Like after town hall, you could maybe be a little bit picky, but in this case, I don't have a fort, so I would actually probably almost always go for a city hall after town hall. If I had a fort, I would quite likely build maybe Wyverns first. That is a very reasonable play. Okay, actually was a little bit lucky there with morale on lizards. It's nice to see stables not far from your town, but unfortunately this one is actually really poorly placed. It's very hard to use these stables. Unless you clear this part of the zone, obviously. So I have a few nymphs now. They don't really offer much in terms of power, but they will be able to kill like a couple of halberdiers maybe. And I feel like my kiting is over here, right? At least one stack is still on the serpent flies. That's at least something. Maybe time to bring nymphs down also to help working on a remaining couple of stacks. Also removed retaliation with serpent flies there. But I try to preserve nymphs here because there is a quest for them. So I actually want to at least not lose them all at the same time. And if I engaged with them, they would probably be a target for halberdiers. And I probably made a mistake there. Blocked out the two halberdiers, and nymphs had to attack a bigger stack that still had a retaliation there, but so generally you can see I set up my nodes there to shelter nymphs away from at least part of the enemies. Here though probably should be safe already. But generally that's why I was setting up nodes this way, so I basically could move nymphs from one side to another, and this way they would actually be protected from at least some of the enemies. And as usual, Koget's smallest possible resource piles. The tough part for Fortress is that it actually is very short on ore. It's even not easy actually even to build a fort. And keep in mind that I had resource starting bonus, which fortunately rolled maximum possible value, so it was a +10. Without it, it would be actually, I mean, I don't know. It would be maybe nearly impossible to build a fort even, like first 2 weeks probably. Okay, so actually building a guild mage makes sense here. Because my army is just, well, for 2 reasons. My army is still small and like a magic arrow hitting like even for 20. And Stig's arrow is gonna be hitting a little bit more, like 30 something. Maybe even 40 at some point. That's nothing to scoff at. It's a pretty solid input. So I'll make sure that goblins do not reach lizards there. And also I want to block off the 8 stack from top with a couple of ones. That'll be helpful. Okay, so actually hit them. Maybe I hope that 5 will hit a 1. That would be maybe reasonable to expect. So, okay, that's not too difficult. Some decent spells. Bless with water actually is pretty good for Fortress. Dragonflies have a very large damage range, as well as lizard warriors, so helps them a lot. And also Hydras actually. Which is, I mean, if you bless any level 7 creatures, Hydras is the best for that, so it's not bad. There is a wood warehouse not far from the town, so you actually want to clear it first week, so that you could actually take advantage of the +10 wood income, so that is quite important actually. So even though, yeah, I didn't say that Fortress is start for wood specifically, I mentioned that it's very bad in terms of ore, and it's because there is no warehouse in the vicinity. So you basically are left to scavenge ore and maybe like collect it from windmills, occasionally give ore. But in terms of wood, even though there is a warehouse, which is nice, you actually need a lot of wood as fortress. As you know, like building Wyverns takes 15 wood actually. A very high amount. I put serpent flies from like opposite sides. That's to make sure that halflings cannot hit the same serpent fly. Just managing my damage a little bit. So that's a warehouse guarded by a bunch of harpies. Harpies are annoying to deal with. My intent was actually to buy a spellbook for Tazar here. Also another reason to build Mage Guild this early. Let's see if I don't forget about it. I probably should bring unupgraded dwarves back a little bit, like I did here, so that I could comfortably deal with this with battle dwarves, and now I can deal with regular dwarves as well. So I guess I'm considering if I can afford buying 8 serpent flies there. And I probably should flag the dwelling anyway, since I actually moved there, but... And then I actually decide that I have to. Well, I mean, maybe not have to, but it's better. Unfortunately, I cannot afford a spellbook now for Tazar. And oh boy, I found 1 ore. That's very, very... Well, that's a lot actually. Just need to collect 14 times 1 ore. And I have a fort. Okay, that's a bit unfortunate. I lost 2 serpent flies. But that's fine. It's way more important that I actually have a warehouse now. So I have a 44 wood. That's very solid. So if I can collect enough ores, then I would be able to build a fort and wyverns as well. Engineers are pretty strong level 2. And I was quite a bit concerned about this fight. But fortunately, I mean, I have a solid army, so should be fine. There is another couple of ore piles not far. Well, not, I wouldn't say not far, but like there is a pile, maybe even not one pile, near my town that I left. That's fine. I will collect them. Basically, I will be hiring another hero at some point, so it would make sense to first basically attack, expand a little bit, and then maybe I can just collect whatever is left by another hero. Oh man, one step short. That's unfortunate. So I probably should be hiring another hero next week to collect whatever weekly objectives are there, like there is a mystical garden. I think I did not clear its guards, but it's guarded by skeletons, I think. So Tazar came here with basically no army, but I felt like he can actually clear troglodytes here. So I actually want one of the stacks to hit my Serpentfly, but I was hoping probably that at least one of the others, maybe both, would follow a nymph, so maybe it did not help, but here at least I can kill 2 stacks with my nymphs and stay out of distance for the 3rd stack. And this way we actually finish. So it's just 1 nymph lost. It's very decent. And now he can hire 8 more serpent flies, and his army is actually not terrible, so he can maybe fight something like mechanics, maybe even Magogs would be, although Magogs would kill maybe too many nymphs, which I would prefer not to happen. Air elementals also doable. Normally air elementals stacks are small relatively. They have a very high value for level 2. So I'm basically considering options. Corsairs look like they might be okay, but at the same time, if they're 10, like, it could be doable. But if they are like 15, that gets a little bit worse. Also, they don't have melee penalty, so it is a little bit difficult as well because of that. I should have made a few small nymph stacks here. Okay, lost a bunch of units. But maybe it's still worth it. It's a big chest and a bit of wood. I could also beat zombies. Maybe. Okay, that's gonna be a bit rough. Maybe I should have made like a couple more ones here. Because my damage is not nearly enough on any, like on serpent flies, on nymphs to kill an entire stack, or even close to it. So I will need to use ones to take off retaliations, and if I had like a couple more, well, that would be much better. So probably good time to hit someone. Okay, maybe I want to split them first. That would be reasonable actually. Because I don't finish the stack right away, like in one turn. So ideally I would want to remove retaliation, wait with my attacking stacks, and then finish the same stack next turn. So ideally I would want this stack to be alone, like here, right? But I need one of my small nymph stacks to be nearby to remove retaliation. Something like this, and now I will set up the attack. My right nymph is almost caught actually. I got a little bit lucky there that zombies did not reach because of the obstacle. Okay, it's time to do the same with another nymph. Maybe I can use one of my other units to separate them like this. That's nice. Well, this one will have to be a little bit hairy. So I guess losing a serpent fly here is maybe better. Maybe I should have waited with nymphs actually. Not attacked it. Probably zombies would not have killed the serpent fly if they hit it again, and then I hopefully would have killed them next turn. Not sure, but probably it was better still. Okay, Verdish actually really wants me to hire her. She was in tavern previous week as well. Maybe I should have moved my serpent flies forward to maybe attract a couple more stacks. But this split maybe is not that bad as well. I have a solid null stack, so this null stack will hit quite decently. Unfortunately, it doesn't kill golems. Okay, I actually set my serpent flies to be hit by one of those stacks intentionally, just to make sure that they split off. Otherwise, they would not follow serpent flies. So it would have been a bad move. And now I can kill one with serpent flies, and this fight actually went pretty smooth. Scholar is tempting. I have no idea what spells will I be able to trade, and if there will be any at all. But it's definitely tempting to take. Especially considering that Stig is kind of a secondary hero. So I would like to join Stig with Tazar. So I want to send her towards Corsairs there. There is really no difference if we take the dwelling first or take the gold. Either way, we don't do both this day. So we'll have to waste a horizontal or vertical step next day, either way. Okay, we got a city hall. That's not bad actually. I feel like this map is so poor that building a city hall on day 8 is actually not bad. Not bad. And I want to build my units now. So first priority at this point is getting enough ore for the fort. Verdish is not a bad actually hero for taking the skeletons. And I mean Mystical Garden and defeating skeletons there. That's a big stab, big army. 17 Corsairs. Okay, probably time to send Tazar here as well. He's gonna go take army and go to the right side. And at this point I actually do prefer to hire whatever I can on the open world dwellings or anywhere. Open world dwellings are even better in that basically I reinforce my main army instantly. And it helps me progress further and basically keep expanding, which is the most important part of the beginning. That's a tough choice. That's basically Tazar in a nutshell. But the fact that he starts with Advanced Armorer means that he has basically 2 levels to get a decent skill. And if he doesn't, then well, it's scouting or luck for you. Luck maybe is not that bad though. It used to be pretty bad, but it's better since some of the more recent Hota updates. Scouting is also fine, but since it's a single player, I would actually prefer not to have it for the most part. It's much better skill in a multiplayer though. I don't really want to go to the beach. Maybe I could have taken out the wolves and go back. With a movement boost, that would be almost at no cost. Maybe it would be a correct decision. And I think I should actually hire another hero. Maybe like should have hired for some time already. Now, that's a question. So, what I wonder about is whether I should try to build a fort as soon as possible, or I should build a resource silo first. Now, that will make... I mean, building a resource silo basically delays the fort a little bit, but it will give me an income of ore. Thanks to the first aid, pretty easy fight. That's 5 stack. That's very generous actually. Okay, so I'm actually might be very close to building a fort. So this dilemma is actually... I mean, dilemma. Choice between a resource silo and fort is actually very big. Because if I build resource silo, it's likely that I don't get 5 ore like this week, for example. Maybe I do, but theoretically I could maybe, let's say I find ore by day 5. I can build a fort. Day 6 I can build a wyvern nest. And day 7 I may be able to build a what you would call it, the serpentfly dwelling. If I have sulfur, that is. But I saw a sulfur next to Stig, I think, so maybe I could do that. And if I build a resource silo, there is a very good chance that I build none of that this week. Maybe I should have taken Earth Magic. And that's 3 ore. That's perfect actually. So this dilemma, right? And the risk with building a fort, for example, here is if I don't find 5 more ore, like in the next few days, several days. Like that would hurt, because I wouldn't be able to build resource silo in the near future, and then I may just basically stay on whatever ore I already have for some time. That would be a little bit painful, so... But I still think it's a right decision to build fort, not a resource silo hero. Having a couple of extra wyverns, it's very useful. Not to mention serpent flies, extra serpent flies, and the general ability to build more units. So I want to bait upper armadillos into the gnoll. Oh my goodness, that's not very good. Yeah, so I set it up so that they would have to attack second one there, and otherwise they would go under the wooden whatever plank, not plank, but you know, the obstacle, and they would be able to hit my more valuable units. Oh, that's so painful. So lost a couple of serpent flies. Okay, that's awkward. 15 nymphs lost. That's crazy. Okay, that's 4. I need just one more. And I will be super happy about building a fort. So I could maybe pick this one. But I already left. So if I actually did what I mentioned before, if I used the bonus, basically attacked wolves and then came back to use it again, that would basically refunded most of my spent movement points at that point. And I would be able to pick this ore up. Otherwise, I remember there was a pile not far from here to the right. But it's, well, not far, like, in terms of bird flight, but it's over this mountain range. I think I'm kind of trying to figure out what I will be missing if I will be stuck with like 4 ore for some time, so I will not be able to build basilisks, and honestly, who cares? I wouldn't be able to build gorgons, and that would be a little bit more disappointing, but that's fine as well if I build them a little bit later. And also, obviously, I wouldn't be able to build Hydras as well. So I would have serpent flies and wyverns, in addition to lizard men and gnolls. That's not bad, but obviously I don't want to be stuck, and as you can see, I'm kind of basically almost feeling pain there about not removing the guard. At this point, maybe I kind of even gave up, and I figured that maybe I'm even willing to trade for 1 ore if I don't find it. So that would be acceptable. Undesirable, but acceptable. Okay, that's a good time to have a couple of ones when you face a big single stack. And also maybe we just kill them. Okay, churchyard. The churchyard is probably too much. If I had like a solid null stack, that would be realistic. But the problem, I don't have like any solid stack. I have like a little bit of everything. That's a bit of a problem. If I brought, like, let's say 4 Wyverns from my town, like a couple days later, that should be enough. That's still tempting, but I don't think I actually could do it. I mean, I probably could do it, but it would cost me quite a few units, so I'm not sure it's worthwhile. So I guess I will take out orcs and then visit Fountain again and then go to the watering place for some more movement next day, I guess. That's my plan. And then go further to the east. Hopefully I'll find some ore there. Okay, next day Verdish will bring reinforcements. Oh, finally found the ore I was looking for. Even just one piece is actually very, very welcome. Could have hit actually. Okay, nice money. Okay, that's a big one. Either 3 or 4 size. No, it was a 4 size actually. Pretty nice maneuver with serpent flies there. Hitting a bunch and still getting back to protect nymphs. And finally we got a Spirit of Oppression. That's a welcome sight. It's a bit unusual to only have 3 heroes at this point. But it just feels like I don't have that much money to spare. And return on investment with any additional hero is actually not that great. Okay. Obviously they deal enough damage to kill a serpent fly. Okay, it got a little bit messy, but it's fine. And I ran out of my nymphs. Fortunately, I found another dwelling, so I will at least increase their growth. This path is blocked, it's a bit unexpected. It looks like it should not be. So I need to somehow catch up with my reinforcements here. Catch up to Tazar. Oh. Maybe I will use sticks in some way. Maybe this water in place will help as well, but I will only be able to get into it next day. Tazar will not be going like a straight line though, so naturally reinforcements will eventually catch up. So. Yeah, that's a week 3 already, and the money situation is really bad. I want to see how far Verdish can reach. She doesn't reach very far. And that's... so it's better for Stick to sit on a watering place this day. I could maybe even dismiss nomads in Stick's army for a little bit more speed. But maybe it's unnecessary. It's just one day. It's gonna be like around 100 movement points extra, maybe like 150. Okay, actually I seem to have managed to bring one of them to the top side. I moved nymphs to the top side to actually provoke them there. It was just one though. That's a bit unfortunate. I was hoping to maybe take position on the bottom side, but turned out a little bit different. See how nymphs actually serve as a perfect bait here. Now water elementals will still go towards nymphs, I'm pretty sure, and I will then be able to either block the passage with either a single gnoll or even basilisks. and have a pretty easy time with them either way. So it's kind of actually very nice if you understand which of your units is a most desired target for the AI. So you can actually do some nice tricks like this. I mean, it's not necessarily a trick, but like manipulate AI in some interesting ways. Maybe visit a magic well as well. Stig might need some mana later. I still use her. And also I took Scholar with Stig, so I actually want her developed a little bit more, regardless of if I want to use her or not. Okay, that's a bit unfortunate. I did not split even a single gnoll, so we'll have to do a little bit more shooting. And then probably remove retaliation with basilisks and do the thing. A nice forward tavern as well. So there are a few places I left with Tazar, like a couple of chests to pick up, a couple of resource piles. So it's obviously much better if I can hire a hero here than if I have to bring a hero from home. This infernal meat is also potentially useful. I have to stay away from swamps though. This gnoll hut is fortunately on the road, so it's fine if I take it. But also I would prefer not to waste time on that with Tazar. Okay, so actually we'll take a fight here, will I? Maybe not. Okay, I won't. Ice-hits are pretty fast. And also Stick doesn't have tactics, so I will have to eat a few hits, and probably on some vulnerable units as well, so maybe it's better not to. Finally, a resource silo. It's very expensive, 5,000 gold, not to mention ore. But I mean, ore is kind of, at least ore will be paid back. The gold price is still kind of very, very high. So I skipped some important objectives on the left side actually, so I skipped a hero there. There is a prison. And I need this hero for a quest at home. It's kind of important to free that hero. And also the second vineyard, the satyr dwelling, is actually also quite important to take. Also for the quests, or maybe for a single quest. But there is a quest chain. There are actually, each player has 2 quest chains, and they give some nice rewards, both of them. So you actually want to do these quests. And that's a very good find. Like, very good is actually even that doesn't give this warehouse its credit. I actually did not even realize it's there. I checked the map, so I knew it was there, but when I was playing, I actually wasn't paying attention to that, and was very pleasantly surprised. Now I have 15 ore, and I actually can maybe build a castle this week. I could maybe build Gorgons instead, like build a citadel and Gorgons. But I would need a little bit more sulfur, I believe. And there are a couple more ore piles. I'll leave them for... Okay, actually may have taken the auto combat there. Like, losing 3 docks, that's perfectly fine. I'm basically fine losing any Inferno units. Nice, sulfur. So I guess it's the question now. So probably it's a smart idea to maybe build a citadel for now. And then consider, like, choose between Gorgon Lair and Castle for the day 7. And obviously I don't need Basilisk Pit. I mean, Maybe like building Basilisk Pit and hoping to get enough resources and money for the Hydra pond next day. But that sounds not very realistic. I have very little money. I still don't have enough sulfur, although sulfur is kind of pretty close. A single monk stack is annoying, but I have some meat, fortunately. Decided to attack with serpent flies, though that's a bit unexpected. But I think I actually was concerned maybe that if I remove retaliation with hellhounds, monks would have just killed them with the retaliation. I don't know. Maybe that was concern. But monks actually have a melee penalty, unlike zealots. So especially because it's Tazara, actually, I think it was pretty safe there to do. And I mean, the way it played out in the end, actually, these doggies survived quite a few hits. So this would be like a big decision, I think, at this point, if I build a castle or if I build a castle or if I build a Gorgon lair. I think castle is the way to go, actually. Because of the capital. So if I build castle now, I actually can build capital maybe like in a couple of days. And that's not small. That's at least some income. And these nice ladies, and I don't know, maybe it's a bug. The message says it's 10,000 and the actual price is 5,000. They are well worth 5,000 for sure, and probably even 10,000 actually. This early they are pretty dang good. And I don't build a castle. Okay. Maybe I should have waited with it. Maybe I should have built a castle. Or I decided to build a Gorgon lair. Okay, that's an option as well, as I mentioned. I mean, it's not too bad. I have a ore warehouse at this point, so I actually at least can guarantee a castle this week. Another option would be maybe to build a castle and collect a little bit of gold this next day. I mean, day one. Like maybe like a water mill somewhere or something like that. And then build and then hire the sea witches. But that's also like I need these satyrs and so the money is actually still a very pressing issue. And we have a second town on the horizon. Decently well guarded, but with sea witches I think we should handle it fairly comfortably. Bye bye, last doggy. Okay, that's a bit of a poor placement for my cows, but it's not. It's an easy fight, so who cares? So I'm again in danger of rolling some garbage skill at this point. I already have luck, so I don't have that many skill points. And I don't really want to take offense. I know it's a solid skill, but on custom maps I very much prefer to have like a bit more magic, like tactics. Tactics is way too strong, I think, to skip. Sometimes you kind of have to skip it, just don't get it, but also he doesn't have logistics, he doesn't have pathfinding, and I actually want him to have both. Or maybe he does have logistics. I don't remember. No, he doesn't. He has armor, he has luck, wisdom, and earth magic, so basically if I want to have him like move with a respectable speed on the map, he only has like a couple of skill slots. And ideally I would want one of them to be water, for mass cure, for maybe like clone sometimes. Sometimes a teleport is nice as well. like in a siege fight. Teleporting Gorgons inside might, or Hydras as well, might cause like an utter chaos inside. Expert Bless as well is very strong with Hydras in particular. Also prayer, obviously, so if you don't have air, water is always a second best option for speeding your units. And also, like, having tactics is something I would prefer to have. Now I have money for the capital, but I don't have castle. So I have to skip a day building. That's a bit annoying. So I would actually rather have someone go for the ore warehouse and piles next to it, like very shortly. Ideally, I should have sent them there already. Kind of wasting build time is a little bit annoying. And not just annoying, because I mean, now that I have money, I need to be building up to capital, to Hydras, and I don't have many days to do all of that. It's day 3, so what do I wanna? What ideally I would like to build? So I would like to build castle, capital, basilisks, and hydras. That's 4 buildings. That's a lot of ore, though, to be honest. So that would be like 30 ore right there, which I don't have, and I quite likely won't have, even if collect everything. But maybe it's not that unrealistic. So there is a warehouse, there are 2 piles, so I could collect maybe some ore from windmills. Maybe there is 1 pile here as well, so maybe I can actually get to 30 ore. By the end of this week, and I would need 8 more sulfur as well. Which is also kind of a question of luck, I guess. So it's time to take this town and There is a town gate nearby, which is a very, very nice thing to have. It enables some nice mobility. For some reason I ignored the elves there. It's kind of a little bit weird. Although they did not do anything, but... Okay, so now Tazar is in real danger. There are a couple of witch huts, fortunately, around here. So I can get a couple of skills with them. But so I want to bring Tazar back home. I could use retreat, theoretically, as well, but I wanted to bring serpent flies with him. And I think I will upgrade the dwelling at home this day, since I don't have ore to build anything. That would make some sense to me, for sure. I already upgraded it. Okay, so that's even better. And 6 sulfur. That's a very, very good campfire. So I just want to clear a little bit more with Vistan so that he could pass army to Stig. And Stig could go further. Finally, a spell book on Tazar. At least I did not forget this time. I often forget, and I may have a main hero without a spell book like a few months in. That's very common, unfortunately. It's not a big problem though, because Tazar has what, like 2-1 spell power and knowledge. Not, you could say, not a very strong spellcaster. So I'm just trying to see if I want to spend money on Wyverns, if I can afford them, because I have a very ambitious goal to build a capital, basilisks, and Hydras this week, and that's a lot of money. That's 22,000. If I build capital next day, for example, that would be, I would have like 8,000 income in the same time frame. So that I would need to cover 12,000 somehow. There is a basilisk creature bank not far from the starting town, so I could actually clear it. And then there is this black tower, there is this crypt, so maybe it's not that far-fetched. Also, I don't think I should be spending money on anything else, like hiring boars. Should wait. Probably also shouldn't be building second town for now. I forgot about the second town, by the way. It would be like 11.5k then. Money. Income not 10,000, so it's a little bit of a help. These sandy shores are kind of annoying. Without pathfinding, it's pretty brutal. And also, Tazar is standing on a swamp tile at this point, so actually having a nomad in his army is even making it worse for him. Oh, okay. Fortunately, Tazar is tough. Okay, and I have actually hit my ore goal, so I have 20, and I already spent 10 on a castle. So I could build both basilisks and hydras if I have money. Now money is still, and I need 2 more sulfur. Now money is still a problem. There is a water magic. I could take it with Tazar. It's much better than many things he could roll. Naturally, next level up. Okay, these magma elementals are also a quest, so we'll have to kill them. Barely got enough money. That's good. That's promising at least. Okay, that's lucky. Lucky that I get logistics and not some garbage. Okay, that's a prison I mentioned before. It holds Drakon, the gnoll specialist. And Drakon, for whatever reason, has Nyxus in his army. Or Nyxus. Nyxus is a bit of a loud statement. He has a single Nyx. And for whatever reason, some quests as well give Nyxes and some other cove creatures as a reward. And I don't really understand why. Why would Fortress need like a few cove units? I mean, sea witches are actually a solid unit. I like to have even a few of them because of their special abilities. And especially since I could hire like 20 of them recently, even like getting an extra 5 is still nice. So I don't mind them. They're kind of very useful regardless of the faction you play. But Nyxes, like 5 Nyxes, like whatever I'll have. It does sound a little bit weird. Okay, that's a big fight, and probably I got lucky here. Like, I know that these fellas have a very low AI value, so so I got like a really high number of them. 85, is it? But I'm pretty sure like I could have gotten much worse. So these fellas are actually maybe like if they were unupgraded it would be even better, but other than that it's really almost best I actually could hope for. Okay, they're wasting me here. I'm fine losing basilisks and gorgons here. They were basically like meat, fat meat. I would prefer not losing. I mean, I'm fine losing gnolls, that's for sure. Everything else is a bit painful to lose. Okay. It's not too bad. It doesn't offer a scholar upgrade. Very much against it. And I don't want to take more skills on Stig. Otherwise she might never like get the scholar. Like might get it by level 20 when everything else is expert. It's less than ideal, I would say. And it looks like I have enough of money. I need 2 more sulfur though for Hydras, so I will have 1 extra day to find it, and there is actually a pile there. And that's just 1. Okay, maybe I'll find 1 somewhere here. Okay, that's a windmill with sulfur. Perfect. Aiden sets up to get to collect resources next week. I lost a couple of dragonflies. So I'm thinking, well, air magic is nice to have. Nice to have. Even if there is no dimension door, it's nice to have mass haste. There are not many other great spells though. But mass haste is actually like potentially game breaking in some situations, or like saving. So it's a very high impact spell. Like for example, people normally take fire magic just for a single spell as well, for Berserk. So everything else is kind of not very exciting to get fire magic. But this, like specifically Berserk, obviously makes fire magic extremely strong. Same here, I think. Air magic haste is maybe not as blatantly overpowered like Berserk, expert Berserk, but it's very powerful. I didn't take the Satyr dwelling there. It is actually a day 7, so maybe I actually should have taken it. That's a lucky Hydra there. It might be quite useful. I'd say it's pretty good. I managed to build fully my starting town by week 4. Considering how poor this map is, it's pretty good. So now I want to get these reinforcements into my main army. And I want also Tazar there, so I will have to... I want to dismiss him somewhere here. I mean, to retreat him. And I want him to clear these couple fights first, and then I will retreat him in an imp cache. Not far from here. Yeah, actually, I could have killed the big skellies there. They were out of reach of normal skellies, which I did not notice. Well, that's a nice and fairly easy way to kite several not very fast units with a single unit. So you basically want to gather them in a single corner before you start kiting. And this way you can actually do kiting very easily. So one problem here is that while I want to hire reinforcements, I don't have a lot of money, and I also would actually like to build my second town as well. So it's a big question where I will get enough money to do all of that. So I will retreat Tazar from the Imp cache, and Drakon will bring bring dragonflies and sea witches home, and I plan to send reinforcements from there at this point. So the Dwarven Treasury looks like a good option. Unfortunately, it's a small one. Maybe size 2 at best, size 1. So it's gonna be 2500. Still it's nice money. There is a Naga bank, and I don't know if I clear it or not, but it would be potentially very useful as well. Could bring a lot of money. Although I'm not sure I can really take like big ones with this army. Maybe if I try really hard. I'm not sure. But taking like a smaller ones would definitely be not very difficult. Also, there is another hero I need to free. It's I will show you. Basically, the place where my army is right now is a little bit well, from here, let's say, if I go south, that's gonna be the second hero, another hero, like if Drakon would be first. That would be Adrienne, and she's also needed for one of the quests at home, and she actually has decent skills. Also, to the north from the same location, there is another quest. I would need to reach vampires there, so there are like a few vampire fights, or undead fights. So I want to bring army for Tazar, and Drakon will go east from that location. Instead of going home, I'll send a separate hero, Verdish, and I'll use some other hero to bring her the army. Ideally, but I just don't have enough gold at this point, I'm afraid. Unless it's gonna be like a partial reinforcement. So there are quite a few boars to hire already, and I could actually hand them in. The quest they're asking for boars will give me gorgons for them. So it's actually very useful quest. Tazar is on a gnoll, so that's a terrible thing. If there was one mistake you'd like to... conclusion, let's say, to draw from this, then maybe it would be reasonable to conclude that when you take a new town, like leave like a couple, 3 fast units there, in case you hire a new hero and you need this hero to be fast, and you could do that with fast units. And then, well, or at least if this town is built up, so you probably could hire a new unit, right? But in this case, it's a new town, and well, Tazar had almost minimum movement points, unfortunately, because of this mistake. A nice artifact. Like a few boosts to spell power and knowledge, and actually Tazar will get respectable magic skills. Okay, maybe Drakon can kill this. That would be useful. These are pretty dangerous, so I will use my Nyx to take one of their attacks, the top one, hopefully. Yeah. And the Dragonfly will deal with the 2 other stacks. Okay, so this one is a bit... Okay, depends on the Dragonfly strength. Okay, it should be good enough. The trolls are also for the quest here, and before that I captured a leprechaun's dwelling. It's also for the quest. So kind of basically the dwellings you see on the map next to your town, not far from your town anyway, generally are for the quests of your faction. At least that's the dwellings that do not belong to you, obviously. So, although you could say that those are also for the quest. For example, some of my quests will require like gnolls and lizard warriors, for example. So you could say that those dwellings are also for the quests, I guess. So I had to choose what I will hire. And in general, Hydras are like my tank, basically. So I can actually afford getting a few hits with them. And they're best, because they're level 7. For this purpose, so... And Verdish actually goes north along this road. There is a town gate, and she will use this town gate to teleport to my second town. So as you can see, there are at least some town gates on the map. They help quite a bit with logistics. Okay, so I think these Dread Knights guard at prison. That's right. So here is my plan. That's a nice set of obstacles on the top left corner. And as you can see, the first Dread Knight actually blocked the way for other Dread Knights on the top. And Hydras are blocking the path from the bottom. But Hydra is not very strong. As you can see, like a single hit took away like 2/3 of its life, so I had to block with gnolls. There is one helpful gnoll, as you can see, next to a Hydra. So it blocked her from getting wrecked, and now I have to like help her a lot. She's in danger of dying. And I will send my gnolls there. I don't want to kill the one, because if I kill, then 3 knights would definitely kill the Hydra. I mean, would be able to kill. I don't know if they would still hit it, but they would definitely be able to kill it, and that would be way worse than losing like 15 more gnolls. So I don't have a free slot. But I will stash Andra next day, so it's not bad. Okay, Adrienne, as you can see, is pretty decent actually. Her skills maybe are not that good, but still kind of. I mean, navigation makes me consider her for like any naval missions. Like she has logistics, it's pretty good. Fire magic, I mean, that's Adrienne, so what do you expect? She has fire magic, and it's not like a terrible skill, so that's fine. So this one is potentially big Naga Bang. I'm not sure Tazar will be able to take it. But Adrienne will, actually, so I will use her to take this thing. Even with this army, I'm not sure that Tazar will avoid significant losses. But I figure Adrienne with Firewall should be fine. It's not bad and it's good money. Okay, one possible correction to what I did here, maybe I should have left Adrienne 3 sorceresses, not 1. And make Tazar sorceresses into 2/1 stacks, basically, for debuffs. There is really minimal difference between using like 1 stack or 2 stack, or 4 stack for that matter. And so I could use actually... it would be better to use just once, because if I have to sacrifice a stack, that would be just 1 sorceress, not 2, not 4. Okay, maybe it's time to build fort. Maybe I consider resource silo first, or city hall. It's day 4, so I kind of gauge what I could build this week. So it would be like Wyvern nest probably, Serpentfly hive, and probably not much more, maybe citadel. But it's not bad. It's Serpentflies, I mean dragonflies, and wyverns are maybe not the strongest units of Fortress, but they are the only flyers and they are pretty good. So having like a decent number of them is always useful. So I forgot to pass rogues here. I should have passed a rogue to Drakon. There is another quest for a single rogue, so... Fortunately, I will at least remember about it in time. Well, more or less in time. The best time would be this time. So I will use Adrienne here. I see. Okay, I want to fast travel with Tazar. A couple of steps short to reach the watering place, unfortunately. Reaching it would be ideal. Okay, I should split my sorceresses here. Maybe one no as well is an option. I see, so there is a nice firewall location here, I think. The bottom stack is a bit worrisome. It might go from the bottom. I want to set up Wyvern as a bait here and use a firewall to kill the Dread Knights. But my concern is that bottom stack might go from the bottom. So I will put Wyverns. Okay, I still put them here. Okay. Okay, that's the idea. So I want to at least make sure that do my best to reduce amount of damage Wyverns would get. So I fed a few units for Dread Knights to hit, basically. I could maybe put my Wyverns one tile up, but this way other Dread Knights would not have gotten killed. So that they would only take a single step on the firewall and I actually would have hit the Wyverns. And then, since they are alive, so that would be just a single stack blocking the thing. So that would be a pretty lackluster firewall. Okay, it's time to clean up the undead area. And I want to get Tazar here basically by the time this area is cleared. So that he could go east through the Nagas. Yeah, I think it's faster to retreat Tazar. here, then just go back. Okay, dismissed a couple of gnolls so that I didn't have to leave Adrienne some slow unit. Like the fastest is Wyvern, that's 7. That's not great. While Stig is here, she will do a couple of fights. And also, since I need to develop her scholar, that's actually long overdue. I think I should not forget developing her. She will not go fight leeches though, because dragonflies are with Adrienne, so they are basically my best unit against leeches. I thought about bringing an extra serpent fly for like for another hero, but I figured that I have a bunch of dragonflies on Adrienne, so I don't need that, and Brogil just waits for the next week to collect resources. Okay, nice campfire. One other great thing about Fortress on this map is that since luxury resources are pretty scarce, it's very good that Hydras actually do not cost any sulfur until upgraded. So that will not destroy my bank if I actually try to get more Hydras. I mean, it will cost me money, but it won't hurt my sulfur supply, at least. So I guess I see what I will use against. So if maybe I want to fight this with Adrienne instead. Okay, so I decide to do this fight with Stig. Figured that she should be fine. I want to spread my shooters so that they do not get hit by the cloud attack. Living Wonder was very useful, as you can see, because Sea Witch and the leeches have same speed. If I killed the top stack, top remaining one leech with my sorceresses, it would have made the bottom stack go before my Sea Witches. That would be quite painful, actually. They would kill a few units, probably lizards, but not like too bad. Maybe they would have killed like 3 to 5 dragonflies. That would be annoying. Okay, so we'll do a little bit of kiting here. I have a few Hydras. Hopefully they'll work as a decent deterrent. And I will close my stronger shooters with sorceresses. Sorceress is like just a couple or a 3, so mummies will most definitely not consider them as a valuable target. And right now I think it would be a smart idea to maybe attack Hydras, attack these mummies with Hydras, and then plug the hole with Wyverns. That would be smart. But also it's okay, they almost killed, but they did not. Doing what I described before, like attacking with Hydras and using Wyverns to close. Lizards would be safer and just a better idea. But this one worked out as well. I like the sorceresses. Their debuffs are very good. Like one of the best one stacks, I think, that you can have. Especially like it's not very pronounced in this fight, because if you can see, the mummies have like 7 defense, so it's just at most they reduce defense by 7. It's not much. But imagine like an endgame fight of some sort, and you have like 3 one stacks of this, and they can reduce a single stack, defense of a single stack by 20 in 2 turns. That's a lot. That's a lot. So ideally I would want to keep 3 of them on another hero though, like on Aiden here. No, that's wrong that I did not. Because normally when you bring like a 1 into a fight, not 1 is good because you can sacrifice it normally, even if like this one is like a good unit, like a sorceress, or maybe a master genie is another great 1 stack. even like an Azure Dragon. Like in the late game, having a single Azure Dragon is amazing, and that's a unit you actually might be fine to sacrifice. So having this ability to sacrifice a unit is kind of a great benefit. And in this case I have not one stack, but 3 and 2 stacks, so naturally it's either I cannot sacrifice them, or if I sacrifice, that's gonna be more value sacrificed basically, and these are valuable. Not because they're strong or like exceptional in any way. Well, they are exceptional actually. What I meant to say is that they are not like something I cannot live with basically, but without, or that they provide like some sort of a firepower to me, whatever, but the ability to apply advanced disrupting ray is actually very valuable. And losing 3 of these out of 5 is actually bad. Okay, so zombies, that's another even easier fight for kiting. As you can see, a nice pocket for dragonflies there. I don't want to block way for the Hydra there, so that it would actually... Maybe I want to bring the Hydra a little bit out actually. Maybe. It's kind of a good idea to have your like dangerous melee stack a little bit more mobile, not just stuck near your shooters. Okay, that's annoying. But I have an idea here. So the first to move will be the 48, and it will attack the 3. So I want to reduce it just enough so that it doesn't kill the sorceresses here. And I put dragonflies behind them, so they would actually go after the dragonflies. Well, that's an ideal, almost, right? This one did not go back, but it's even better. Kind of easy another kill. And also a way to involve Hydras in this whole thing. So at this point I once again have to let the top stack go towards my shooters, unfortunately. But it's okay. That's a misclick. Okay, I will block the path with Hydra, so it's not a problem. And remaining 2 stacks are very unlikely to just start moving away from each other, so it's gonna be way easier to keep them on the dragonfly, but I also don't want to waste too much time, so I want to bring them within distance, within straight arrow distance. Okay, maybe I still don't. Okay, maybe one more shot like this and then I will. Also, I did some sort of a triangle with my dragonflies. Maybe this time they'll come one step closer. Yeah, that's right. Kind of a nice thing to do when you kite and you have space, obviously. But if you have space, it's basically you can do anything. So it's not something really impressive, to be honest. Okay, like 3 more fights, more or less. There is one more fight there, hidden behind the mansion. There is a vampire stack. That's... I need to kill... Well, maybe not kill. So there is a quest to defeat this stack, but this army, but it's actually set friendly in the editor, so it might join, interestingly enough. Okay, so here is another firewall thing, so I want to kill 4 stacks with this firewall. Just need to be a little bit more careful and make sure that my bait can only be attacked from the firewall tiles, like here. Okay, nice and easy, and also it's very useful to beat wraiths as fast as possible because of their annoying special ability. If I were kiting normally, like trying to kill them in slow and painful way, then they would actually drain much more mana than if I used this firewall. Now this is an annoying fight, and unfortunately these dragons will kill my 3 sorceresses there. And so I actually, as you can see, I regret not doing the right thing, not stashing 3 and using 2 1-stacks. There is one upside to me sacrificing 3 sorceresses here, not 1. In that now I have 2 1-stacks. That's just some, I guess, something to be happy about, maybe, I don't know. Kind of being happy that when, I don't know, you got robbed and you're happy that you weren't murdered instead. So yes, that's good, but ideally it would be none, right? Neither of these options. Had to sacrifice a few dragonflies to kill vampire lords fast, and this one is big, so not gonna work. Okay, so there is a vampires. They might join, but they don't join me here, so spoiler, late spoiler alert. I don't know though, that's like 20 vampire lords. Not bad, it's a kind of like for my army, it's a massive massive improvement. I mean, it would be maybe not very smart to use them with the main army, but they could be like an army of their own, actually, dealing with many things on secondary hero, or maybe not on the secondary, but like I have 3 decent heroes, so I could use both. Okay, so I need nymphs for this quest, and I don't want to be going out. Okay, that's a stupid mistake. I went out with a troll and a thief or rogue, and that means I suffer a movement penalty because of it, and also I don't have enough nymphs to hand the quest in anyway, so kind of a dumb move. So Tazar and Stig and Aiden, as you can see, are set in a chain. So Adrienne now will kill the vampires and chain the army to Tazar. Okay, I have a bunch of Gorgons now. That's a very nice quest, actually. Quest chain, you could say. But it's not like quest chain. Okay, it's same, basically, thing, but like slightly increased numbers. And final repeated quest is gonna have a slightly better ratio as well. So okay, that's kind of stupid. I mean, okay, stupid that I did not even check the quest before going there. Now Drakon wasted a lot of time and will waste even more time now. That's a pretty big army, but the problem for Nagas is that the fight is on the sand, on the quicksand, or whatever this terrain is called. So they won't have a lot of fun there. Alright, that's it for today. Nice progress so far, made some mistakes, but in general it's hard to be unhappy about the overall speed. Thank you for watching, please share your feedback in the comments below. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.